Hello, going to demonstrate some things that you can do inside Microsoft Office with your Office 365 subscription using some of the tools that come along with it. In this case, we're going to utilize Microsoft Power Apps and Microsoft Power Automate. What you're looking at here is a screen that a little application that we made to get a track of where everybody's at during the day. Especially with the pandemic that we're in right now. We have people working from home. We have people working at the office. We have people out on calls servicing our clients. And we need to know or have the ability to see where everybody's at in one view, but then also be able to do contact tracing if necessary, if we need to. So what you're seeing right here is a screen that this does play out inside a browser window. I'll show you a little bit later how you can integrate it into Microsoft Teams itself. But the way this works is you select your name, and then you get to choose one of the statuses of where you're at. So for instance, if I wanted to be at lunch, I click on the little change button, and then it actually starts counting down how long I've been out at lunch as well. There's some automation that runs in the background. So for instance, at 7, we start our day at 8 o'clock, the majority of the people here. At 7:45 in the morning, if your status happens to be have not checked in yet, you'll get an automatic email with a couple different options inside there to choose what you're doing for the day. Inside that email, you just click on what you're doing, what your status is, and it automatically changes it inside the app. Also created a little button that can be installed on your cell phones, Android and Apple phones, where you just click on the icon on your home screen. It brings you up a list of the different statuses. You choose your status, and then it updates this page as well. Now, there's a few things that we did add. Again, this is completely customizable. That kind of endless the things that you can do. You can see here, I've added how many days that you've been employed. We got the time up here. It's got your name, just little things with that. You'll see that things are color coordinated based on the statuses. This little number right here. So after the day is over, a work day is over at 5 o'clock. For us, if your status still is one of the working statuses, you receive an email as well asking, are you still working? At which case you can either reply to that, or if you don't reply, it'll send a follow-up about 90 minutes later. The little numbers that we have right here is just a little bit of self-policing. If by midnight you're still in a status of working, that means you forgot to change your status, and we want people to know that and kind of shame them, so we have that pop up on the screen. We have integrated it into Microsoft Teams as something you can do. So for instance, here is my Microsoft Teams. I got the little app installed right over here and pinned in my sidebar. You'll see it pop up here. The other one I kind of wanted to show you is we have another process where each month we vote for the employee of the month, which is kind of a cumbersome process for me that was running it, where I'd have to send out a Microsoft Forms survey or a Google survey or an email or whatever the case to have everybody vote at the end of the month who they think the employee of the month should be. So we happen to have 20-something people here. I would have to coordinate and babysit to make sure I get all the responses back, put all those responses into an Excel spreadsheet. For instance, we get the ability for people to vote for 3 people, a first place vote, a second place vote, and a third place vote. Based on what they choose, it is calculated. So for instance, first place is 5 points, second place is 3 points, and last place is 1 point. So I'd have to wait for all those responses to get in, put all their responses into Excel spreadsheet, tally up the totals, and then go ahead and post the winner. That process of babysitting and adding all that up started to become pretty cumbersome, taking up a little bit of time at the end of each month. So I decided to go ahead and create an app for that. So on the first one I showed you, that since it wasn't time to allow to vote, you couldn't vote. So I've actually went into the app here in the edit part just to kind of show you what it would look like. So for instance, in here, you'd pick, you'll see that I'm logged in. I'm Joe Swoboda. I'm not a person that can vote. So I can't vote for myself. So I'm not selected. We'll choose Michelle here and go ahead and submit her for my first place vote. On the second page screen, then she doesn't show up anymore because you can't vote for the same person multiple times. So again, that logic's built into there. You go ahead and select your 3 people. At the end, you give any feedback that you want and you cast your vote. You'll see over on the left, here's the people that you voted for. Then on the back end, using Microsoft Power Automate, we receive those votes. Those votes are tallied in a SharePoint list. And after they're all collected, Microsoft Automate tallies those all up and posts the winner here to the main page here. It sends out an email to the winner congratulating them. I post a message inside Microsoft Teams, inside the company channel. And then then the app itself closes up and says you can't vote again until, like, for instance, in this case, next month on December 1st. Inside here, then we also have the ability to kind of see who's won the last month's voting. There's 2019 as well. And then we have some employee of the years. Again, all of this stuff is automated. The filling out of what you see here on the winners board, that's all automated. Nothing has to be done. It's once all the votes come in and the voting has ended, everything takes care of itself through the automation with Microsoft Power Automate. Again, tools that are already included with Microsoft Office 365, something you do not have to pay for. There are other examples and endless things that you can do with this. I mentioned the tracking for contact tracing. So in that in and out app where we check to see where everybody's at, you will see here it creates it dumps all the statuses into a Excel spreadsheet, which then you can filter and find by employee. Filter out by employee. That way you can trace back to see who is with who for this purpose.